My name is Kadara SWALEH from Lamu, Kenya. I schooled at Nairobi University. Then I taught in the Department of Philosophy and Religious Studies at Pwani University in Kilifi, Mombasa. After that, I worked in politics in different positions. I worked in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I worked as a Director of Political Affairs in the Jubilee Party, the ruling party in Kenya. And currently, I'm a researcher of anthropology at Freie University in Germany, and a research fellow also at Zentrum Modern Orient, an Oriental Studies Center in Berlin, doing anthropology of Africa. Hizmet means a lot to me. But before the concept of Hizmet became clear to me, first I saw the signs, the benefits, the profits, the importance of Hizmet movement in my environment, in different towns in Kenya, Nairobi, Mombasa, Malindi, and many other places. So I have known Hizmet for many years, and it means a lot to me, because with Hizmet, what comes to my mind when I hear Hizmet movement, it means quality education. It means interfaith relationship between different religious groups living together. It means women empowerment. It means respect for environment. It means tolerance. It means peace, Islam. It means a lot of things. So, as a movement, it has a lot of meaning to me. Hizmet movement and Hizmet ideology, which is all about tolerance and working together as a human race, as humanity, has always been important, but I believe it is now more important for Africa relations with the rest of the world. I think we all accept that today's world, we have so many challenges, whether it is terrorism, whether it is these pandemics, whether it is politics, whether it is dictatorship, whether it is victimizing the weak by labeling them. As the English proverb goes, give a dog a bad name and kill it. So Hizmet is very important to tackle the challenges of the world today and to promote global peace. I'm saying this because different civilizations, different entities, whether it is the United Nations or other world bodies or whether scholarship, have come up with different programs, different ideologies of bridging the gap between the poor and the rich, between the powerful and the weak, and good governance. So we have different isms, whether it is democracy, whether it is participatory leadership, whether it is universal education. But here with Hizmet, I find something which is a kind of melange between Islam and humanism. So to say Hizmet is Islam alone, I disagree with that, because we have so many Islamic ideologies from Islamic centers and Islamic civilization. But with Hizmet, there is Islam, a proper interpretation of Islam. With Hizmet, there is promotion of humanity, the way it's supposed to be. With Hizmet, there is working together with our differences, whether it is religious differences, whether it is skin color, and so on and so forth. It is providing an alternative to existing ideologies of making the world a better place to live. I have known Hizmet for a very long period, but the term Hizmet, which I asked some friends of mine who are participants in Hizmet movement to explain to me what is Hizmet. After giving me different good and practical explanation of what Hizmet is, two words came out very strongly. One in English, which means service, service to humanity. But another word that struck me the most is in my mother tongue, which is Swahili, huduma. And when you talk about huduma, it means service. When you talk about huduma in Kenya today, is the ability and the experimentation of providing government services to the local people, to the small people, to the citizens. So huduma strikes very strongly to any person in Kenya or East Africa when you tell them what Hizmet is. So maybe I became familiar with the activities of Hizmet when it is about workshops, when it is about invitation for iftar during Ramadan, where Muslims and Christians come together under the umbrella of Hizmet to have the feast, iftar, together. This has been a very good opportunity, even for those non-Muslims, for them to understand what is Sawm, what is fasting. They see it practically. So I have known Hizmet maybe for the last 10 years because of the activities that they are doing. In the beginning, I thought because the root of Hizmet, it was founded in Turkey, so I thought maybe it was purely an Islamic welfare group to help Muslims build mosques, build madrasas, and propagate Islam. Then I came to realize, well, the ideals, the teachings are found in the root of Islam. But the beneficiaries, the targeted communities, is the whole humanity. Whether you're Christian, whether you are Hindu, whether you are Muslims, it cut across the society. I won't find problems looking for words to describe Hizmet. There are so many. There's no struggle. Hizmet means peace. Hizmet means quality education. Hizmet means humanity and working together for a better world. I get my information on Hizmet, the history of Hizmet, and the challenges the Hizmet movement is facing through many other sources. Not from Hizmet website, not from few friends I have in Hizmet, but from different sources. Particularly now I live in Europe, I have access to quality sources of what Hizmet stands for. First of all, I must say that Hizmet as a movement is not only based on theology, but it is also based on intellectual grounding, philosophy. And this philosophy is agreeable and applicable to the core values of humanity and freedom and life. Therefore, first of all, I feel very sad, I commiserate, and I would like to give courage to millions of Hizmet followers or participants for the suffering, for the mistreatment they are going through under false charges. I have seen some literatures, especially political ones, describing Hizmet as terrorists. But if we look at the terms of terrorists from superpowers, sometimes they use, even if we look at the adverse definition of terrorism, from superpowers who wanted to wage war on some regimes because they didn't like them, you find that they fit that label of terrorism. But if you look at Hizmet and the activities that they're doing by providing better education, by providing services, by helping the needy, the orphans, and the underprivileged in the society, they don't fit in that label of terrorism. And if there was any truth as terrorists, the world, the great powers, they would have already accepted that charge and definition. And the current leader of Hizmet, Hujjatu Afande, will not be residing in New York, United States of America. So, but my advice to Hizmet members that this is a stage. This is a phase. And God is testing their endurance, their patience. And I'm sure it will come to an end. Nothing is permanent. So they should not give up. And they should always remember, even if in their home country, hometown, they are in danger and they are under persecution, the world is open. There's still humanity in the world. People see and people value what they stand for and what they do. So they should take examples and lessons from great leaders who suffered, from prophets who suffered, and it will pass. As a parent of my children, my two daughters, one is now 16 and the first one is 18, I feel very fortunate and very privileged to get an opportunity for them to join Light International Schools in Nairobi for their high school education. I must also mention that before they joined high school, they had joined other schools before in primary schools and upper primary schools. And there are many other options of best schools in Kenya. And Kenya as a modern country and Nairobi as a modern city, we have a lot of options for children to go to school, whether it is local schools or international schools. But I feel so nice. I became a community, a parent of my children. One thing struck me the most is that when I visited a school function for my daughters, I visited just like other parents, for either it is a science congress activities or other events. All of a sudden, I have been selected twice to give a speech to motivate the young students. That was very touchy for me, kind of appreciation that the school is participatory. I felt the parents had a hand in the running of the school. Number two, and this was for the first time in my life, there was a program every year or every few semesters. A class teacher of our students would visit our home. They will visit our home. There is prior arrangements, preparation. They come, they sit parents, siblings, and the student from Light Academy. We discuss progress. We discuss challenges facing the students. They see the environment the child is living in, so that back in school, if the child has any problem, it's very easy to find out what is the problem. And a rapport has already been created between parent and the school teacher. I found this very wonderful. It's sad after COVID, maybe this program stopped for a while. But most importantly, I saw changes in my daughters' intellectual capacity. And I saw the seeds of Hizmet, of Huduma, of humanity in them without themselves knowing that this is Hizmet ideology. Without any one of them feeling that this is what we were taught by school. My daughters, up to today that they have finished high school and they are joining university in Germany, in Berlin, Germany, I see them with the spirit of giving, charity, being nice to other people. My daughters will stop me in the car and say, this mama carrying a baby is hungry. Give them food. Give them money. If they see I'm hesitating to give, he say, I'll refund this money when I go back home. And more importantly, 2 weeks ago, it was the birthday of one of my daughter. When we asked her, what present, what gift do you want us to give to you? He said, no. I just want the value of that gift. You contribute to this charity, whether it is locally or abroad. Where did they learn these values? I don't see anywhere else they learn these values. But these schools, which are founded, are grounded on the principle of Hizmet ideology. Looking at the evolution of Hizmet, not only in Kenya, but all over the world, and for example, the distribution of foodstuff, of meat during Eid al-Adha, for example. This meat is a small thing, but it goes across the society. Christians, Muslims, quality meat, well selected. You hear people talk about it, friends talk about it. It's a small thing. We eat meat every day, but it is in the mind of people, that spirit of giving. So good. But my appeal, my prayer, my request is one. Education is the key to success.